That we anticipate start our meeting. It is 5:05, so we'll call the meeting to order. We have enough people here to establish a quorum. And Becky confirming we complied with our open meeting law focus. Thank you. If you guys would like to join me, please feel free to join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this point, we would review public comments if there were any. There were none that I last saw. We would also then go through comments or questions that were submitted at the end of last month, and there were none. Communication and correspondence. You should have received an email from Becky, which was a forward of a chain from John and got the gal's name regarding Cecilia. Yeah. Regarding the reminder of the new policies from the system from Phillips on the labeling and such. If you could all please make sure you've reviewed that. There's some good links to click on too as you go through. Next on the agenda is to approve the minutes from the August 28th meeting, 2025. Starting on page 4 of the meeting materials. My only question I had was whether we had to put what time we went into open and closed session. Is that relevant?
According to Robert's.
Oh.
Probably, I think that would be a good thing to do now that you guys are thinking about it, but does anybody remember exactly when we did that, or do we have that the recording again?
I only have, in my notes I had, we came out at 5:47 or 5:48.
Okay. Sure,
But
we'll call it 5.
But I don't know when we went in. I didn't write that down.
Yeah,
I don't think I wrote that down either.
Oh, I know there's one or two other ones I think we didn't, but
I don't think they're gonna take away our birthday.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Yeah.
So I think going forward, that would I want to be as precise as possible.
5:20.
You did 5:20, okay.
Oh, all right.
As far as who knows how accurate I was in looking at the clock, but that's what I wrote it down. I had 5:40.
Oh, see?
Okay.
But that was just a small thing that I noticed. But what any other comments, feedback?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes with the addition of the time.
Okay. A motion by Becky. We have a second.
I'll second.
Second by Mark Peterson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Reports. We have our treasurer's report.
I just thought of something. Did we need to approve something from the minutes from the previous month? Last month? Wasn't there a correction or something? It just occurred to me as what did we cover in there?
You are correct about that, I believe.
Approve the meeting minutes with the correction. Okay, never mind.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
In black first.
Yeah, I see that.
And you read it.
I know it. Well, that's why it's suspect. That's why it's suspect. That's why I remember something about it. Okay, as far as the treasurer's report this month, there again is not anything dramatic one way or the other. We've reflected the funds from the raffle that came in last month, and so that was the raffle for the basket. That was really good. They're reflected in these totals through the end of August. Again, we all want to remember that there's 91,761. There are two things to be specific about. One is that includes $10,000 of door money that will be going towards the door project And if we need a couple dollars more or less, whatever goes with that. Also, this does not include any additional interest on the CDs, which are continually growing, but I'm not attempting to get monthly interest figures on that. It's critical for a few $100. I could do that, but I don't see a need at this point. And so the numbers that I use for the CDs, 60,777.94, those numbers are not including any additional ongoing interest. Those are the amounts of the two CDs in their face amounts. Okay, so they're generating interest, give or take about. There's no requirement for any approval for anything on this report tonight. It's not an annual or anything, but if I have anybody's got questions, I'm happy to try to answer it.
Everybody a moment just to look at it in case you didn't have a chance before the meeting. Pretty low activity month.
Yep. That's why it was an easy month for me to continue to be lazy and not use Jeff's nice Excel spreadsheet that he made for me, because there was only like one check and one deposit to make.
Beginning of the year.
Almost out, no. So see there, yeah, so there was a couple different funds. Deposit.
Correct.
I guess I didn't add them up to see if they.
So no further discussion on the treasurer's report. We can go to the director's report from Becky.
All right, so we're in our winter programming schedule. Linda's going up to the school on Tuesdays. Head Start is coming here on Wednesdays until the weather gets bad, and then we will go to Head Start. Friday Fun Time has started up again. The book clubs are going well, very good. We have a couple of authors coming over the next month, which is always fun, local author.
Are they coming here or?
Yes, they're coming here,
Okay.
and the book sale's gonna be in this room. So one of them is a children's author, and they will be in the story pit. And then we have another one that we will put over in the YA section, I think. And we can move these tables, which is the nicest thing. So we need more tables.
We also have a program out of.
And we have a program out of concrete.
All the DNR, retired DNR is coming to do a hunting, fishing. We've got raptors and owls that he brings too, I think.
Like live ones or stuff?
Yes.
Oh.
So I'm hoping to generate some men's interest with that program.
Is that in
We
the,
always see women coming in programs, men.
is that in the evening?
It'll be an easy program.
You know the date right now?
Perfect.
October?
Yeah.
My kid likes animals too much,
Yes,
but I.
Thursday, the 23rd. So yeah, it's a family. It's for all ages.
Okay.
You guys aren't gonna be able to go because we have to do our board meeting that day. Really sorry about that, guys. Anyways, we'll talk about that later. Maybe we'll move it because. Anyways, chess club is picking up. The guy at the chamber is a very good chess player, so he's been coming over, and that's been really nice. And we had a new kid this past Monday, which is good. And he's better than me or Linda, which is great because we have one other kid that's really good, and it's nice when he doesn't have to play me and Linda. Because we try, and he's very nice to us. But yeah, and the art programs. I mean, we load up every time and have waiting lists, so we will continue with that. So more renewed our ILS for the next 2 years. So the ILS is the staff facing portion of our circulation system. So it's Sierra. We have a subcommittee now looking at updating that, but also updating our patron facing software, which is, your more online catalog. And there's a little bit of trouble with compatibility based on what ILS we're using and what online system we're thinking of. We're not doing anything in the next 2 years because we renewed this for the next 2 years, but I don't know. I'm just letting you guys know because that was the big thing at Directors Council on Friday. I don't think that we will switch, to be honest. I don't think there's anything out there. I think we innovated it and we will stay, but we'll see.
So if it were to switch, we're switching because we don't have another option, or we're switching because we think this new program is better, or they're requiring it?
It would be because we think it's better. We would be because we think that it offers more services. So if we don't switch, we definitely don't have to update the patron facing. If we do switch, but we don't want to update the patron facing, then we have to be more picky about who we switch to, because one of them is not compatible with our current online site. And the online site now has the online app, and so we have to consider that too.
Okay.
Again, so probably not a change for at least the next 2 years, because we decided that, but
Do
At
we
some
have
point.
a different online app and site than what other libraries and more are using?
no, everybody in Moore uses the same one.
Oh, okay,
So this is at a system level.
okay.
Yes.
So it's not just Phillips, you're saying?
No, this is all at Moore.
It sounded,
More
I thought you were saying just Philip.
Okay.
No.
I was too, so thank you for that clarification.
No, if you guys want, no, I'd have a huge, big thing before I renew anything, and not talk about it. No, this is at a system level because we all have a shared catalog.
Okay.
All right, we are going to do the book sale. So I have a bunch of people in a trailer coming on Monday, and we're gonna try to get half of what's in the storage unit over here to start. And then we're gonna add things every Monday, and we're gonna let people know that, so hopefully they come back. Yay! We have a sign-up sheet that I haven't been able to access for the last 2 days because we haven't had internet, so I have no idea how many people we have, but tomorrow morning I'm gonna bring a tablet to work so that I can access it even if we don't have internet. And I will be calling everyone if I need you to sit at the door and watch money.
Yeah.
So, just so you all
I was
know.
saying, how can we offer support,
Yeah.
either ourselves or recruit help?
I mean, if you're not doing anything at 2:30 on Monday afternoon and you feel like moving a bunch of boxes, you can meet here at the library.
How long do you think that may take?
Hopefully not more than 2 to 3 hours.
So like if someone came at 3:30 after school?
If you come after school, you'll want to meet us at the storage units.
Okay.
So it's Dick Hike Kemper's units, which are, like up towards 13.
I know which ones they are.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. They're like right there.
That makes
Um, Yeah, so,
Yeah.
yes. And we'll be going back and forth, so I guess you would probably catch us in between anyways.
Okay.
But yeah, and then beyond that, yeah, I'll get the sign up sheet and I'll see how many empty slots there are, and then I'll let you guys know. Yeah, all right, Val's retiring in December, so you guys will see, it should have been in the paper today, it'll be in the paper on Saturday, it'll be on the paper next Thursday, it's been on Facebook, it's on our webpage. So far, I haven't had anybody bite, which is a little odd, because usually when I put a thing up on Facebook, I get a bunch of people saying, yay, library. It's a very odd position. It's, 12 and a half hours a week in the summer, and then 12 and a half hours a week in the winter, except for 1 week when you work Saturdays, and then it's like 16. So obviously it's not benefited. I haven't had to fill it in 6 years. So I'm really hoping we can fill it as is. If I can't, then I'll bring it back to you guys and let you know my options and what I'm thinking. But
How long's the position open for at this time?
right now I'm asking that you apply by October 17th, because I'd really like to get someone in here fast to start training. And we have a little bit of extra salary money, so we can overlap, because I took 3 weeks off without pay. So, so it's a good time to be hiring because of that. But we might have to extend it. We might have to rework it. Yeah. Anyway, so just keep your fingers crossed. We'll see. And then I have 2 extra things to add. Okay, so Baker and Taylor is merging with, remember the name? Merging with a big company. According to the press release, they're keeping everybody at Baker and Taylor. Nothing's really going to change on our ends. But hopefully this fixes the fact that we haven't been able to get Liz. Reader link. There you go. Yeah.
Distributor, so. Yeah.
So I'm very optimistic because I still prefer Baker and Taylor to anybody else, and they do all of our covering and stuff for us, and it's been a hassle trying to get books not on back order lately, so I'm hoping that this fixes that. And then for anybody that didn't hear, our internet's been down for 24 hours now, more than 24 hours now. Oh my gosh, 30 hours now. Which led us to discover that we are the only library in Price County that is still using BadgerLink and Teach. So at the very least, I'm going to find out if we can, first of all, get this speed through our local carrier, and then what it would cost to have this speed here.
At on Novato?
No,
Okay.
No, and we've always been on Badger Link, and the reason for that is that this was always faster than anything that we could get locally because it was always fiber and it was always quick.
Oh.
So, but I mean, we've used this since before I got hired here, so John must have signed us up for it.
Right, we were able to sign up for this in conjunction, they were able to extend the line over from the courthouse, basically, is what it was. And we were able to have a fast line way before anything was available through Price County Telephone at the time. You know, but, I mean, obviously, if it's not working, that's.
This is odd, like this doesn't happen very often.
Do you happen to know if the courthouse has been down too?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. We didn't ask them.
Great.
None of us.
Does the line run underneath the Prevail
Oh,
drive-through? You know, they've been digging over at the drive-through.
Widespread outage though.
Yeah,
But
this
it's
is,
just us.
this is
Okay.
47 sites
Yeah.
in Wisconsin, and it's every library in IFLIS. It's 27 libraries in IFLIS that use Badger.
Oh, okay.
oh.
Okay.
So it's
No.
us, but we're the only.
Good thought.
So anyway, so I'll get quotes and stuff, because now I'm curious to see if we can maybe.
Yeah, I guess the question is, does no battle have fiber? Or I don't know where they've, if they've got it running.
They have it there.
Okay, so they also should be.
No, you said, my recollection was Badger Link was very economical. Like,
Yes,
Very.
it's $100 a month. So we pay 2 payments of $600 a year, which is why I've never really looked into it before. But again, considering the fact that the other 2 libraries in the county aren't using it, I just wonder. Because internet at home through them is like $105 a month for me and Matt, I think, and we pay extra to get the fastest. So if it's that comparable, I'm just wondering,
Yeah,
I'm just interested to
they
find
might
out.
have to charge you the business rate, which is.
Which is considerably more, okay.
Of course, last I checked for an organization, that was through PCTC, so I haven't checked since Novato if they've got, if PCTC jacked it up for organization versus
Okay,
personal.
well, I think it's worth calling them and just finding out.
Absolutely.
But we're not in dire straits, like this isn't, we don't expect this to go on for like weeks and weeks. We don't need a new internet provider tonight. We're just frustrated.
So nothing.
Okay.
Use a hotspot.
Becky, for this job, what's the hourly wage this week?
I think I said 1470 to 1520, dependent on qualifications.
So you get 15 on the budget.
Yes, so I threw 15 in the budget. I like to offer them more than what the lowest thing is, and I don't know.
You feel better?
You do feel better, like, I can do whatever I want, not just sitting there. But yeah, well, and if for some reason I get someone that already knows our circulation system, then I definitely wanna, offer them more, like if a part-time person at Ogama wants to pick this up in their spare time. That's an idea. We should make sure the people down at Ogama know this is open. Okay, anyways, those are the 2 things to add to my report. So we're good.
Thank you. Any questions about the director's report? If not, we can move on to the staff meeting minutes.
The questions, I think I got this out early enough that you guys could have read it.
I had a question about the summer reading program. You said attendance was down and so was attendance through the school.
Yes.
I didn't know there was a school summer reading program.
I didn't either.
I thought I asked another parent, they're like, what's summer reading program? So that could be why the schools was down.
Yes, I think their final count was 12. 12. So, and we were down about a third. So yeah, we don't think that, there's no drawback to us getting together and doing it, and then we can help publicize theirs and they can help publicize ours, and parents don't have to go to 2 different places, and everything will be compatible, and you can drop them here or at the school, and it's gonna be good.
Is there a way to work with summer school at the session here?
Oh.
That's a good idea.
Like, they're always, maybe, Mr. Mark would know. I know sometimes they said they were kind of short on instructors and class offerings.
Let's just say everything is a struggle right now.
Okay.
So, see, you was 12, I was like 12.
Opposite reactions, okay.
There's no reason why we can't ask. So I will let Linda know that we should keep that on our.
The only reason I mentioned that is like, I know one of the class offerings last year was a reading, like it was a reading class.
Yeah.
And I know my daughter signed up, like 9 kids signed up and they needed 10. So
Oh.
it got she got redirected to a different session. But, so it's just a thought, if, have a reading, bring your own book to the library, or with pre-approval, you can check out books if you have a card.
Right. Okay.
Just maybe a way to keep that connection.
Sure.
Should make your own graphic novel and then get one as a gift at the end.
That would be cool.
Did you say,
I'm just.
did you say write your own graphic novel?
Yeah, make their own, yeah, cause I mean, you can buy blank one,
Yeah.
my girls would have fought for spots in that program.
You think it might help if you went to a school board meeting and got it on the agenda for next summer? So maybe the board was more aware of it, so they'd make sure that maybe that the program gets publicized or more, whatever.
Well, the school normally sends out the emails if you get them to administration. They're pretty good about sending out those emails to parents. But yeah, I mean, doesn't hurt. The more people that know it, the better.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason not to, or even just go and during public comment, just be like, hey.
Thanks for working with us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll do that this spring. Oh, yeah. Closer to, yeah. Well, and we're doing what we can to facilitate the 1,000,000 words. So we have a display up that tells you how many words are in each book for the kids.
Oh.
Is there a way
Yeah.
so the school has a program that you see in the barcode, it tells you how many words are in it. And I don't know if that's connected to like the accelerated reader program or such, but is that one that, hey kids, you want to check how many words are in this book? Go see, the gals at the counter.
We have the QR code.
Yeah, we have a QR code that connects you to a website that has
Okay.
a lot, not every. I was kind of surprised because then I was just wondering, and I sat down and I just picked like 6 books that I've read in the past little bit, and Google had 4 out of 6 of them.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like a,
So you do like a word search, like how many words are in this book, or?
yeah, I pretty much Googled how many words are in this book.
Alright.
And like, again, I was surprised. So yeah, and of course, our front desk is happy to Google that for any child that wants to
Okay.
know. And we'll keep refurbishing the display, and Linda finds out before she puts it up there.
Does it there seem to be kids who are coming in with that goal in mind?
Well,
Got the
wait,
number of them checked out.
we had
A little thingy on there.
Yeah.
How many words.
I saw she had like one that had like 14,000 words on it the other day.
we had 12 of them that hit. There was a threshold that they needed to hit, so we set it up with the school, and so those, I think she said 12. Linda's online, by the way, Galen.
Hi, Linda.
I think she said 12. It's either 12 or 15. I think 12. But their reward for hitting that threshold is that they get to come and spend an hour at the library. And we're gonna give them each a little, little like, hey, yay, you read little thing and whatever. So we're working with them now.
Okay.
So hopefully, and then hopefully when their friends hear that they got to come here and they got lots of cute freebies, then everyone will want to read.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm impressed. We've pretty much enmeshed ourselves. Linda's done a really good job of making sure. Yeah, it's good.
Any other feedback on staff members? Oh, I did have one. With Embrace coming to set up a display, is that like in the showcase or like in the lobby?
It's just on top of it's just one of the adult display spaces. So it's on top of one of the lower shelves is
Okay.
where we usually put them. Yeah.
Do we have, I'm gonna ask that question, do we have a policy about nonprofits coming and setting up displays? Like if the Boy Scouts wanted to come set it up, or the Girl Scouts, just so in the future we.
I think the unwritten policy is if you want to do it, we'll let you do it.
Okay.
October is domestic
Yeah.
violence awareness month, so I think, I mean,
Yeah.
but I don't know if there's like a Boy Scout. Like,
Well, I just know we have,
Time of
we
year,
had
that's
the
right.
questions about the support, what could go on there, what
Sure,
couldn't. So I
right.
got me thinking about the other displays from parties outside of the library.
I mean, we
I think
put
that'd be
up
great.
displays for Head Start.
Right.
When they bring their
Oh, like-
trucks over.
Okay,
I think that's
Yeah,
a
and
really
we've
good
done
idea,
it
like
from the
the
health department.
organization for children in
Yeah.
the area too. I think that's, yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's not to say we shouldn't have a policy, and I don't know that we have a display policy, so I will look and find out.
I didn't know if we wanted to
if we have a display policy.
head it off before it became an issue. I don't like more policy than we need, but just if we had a group come forward that maybe we weren't comfortable with for some reason or another.
I mean, I don't
Like,
know
I hate
that-
teacher
I don't know
society or
that the
something.
general public knows that, oh, hey, you can come
Right.
play something in the library.
I would say
In the display
library,
case.
library's discretion, and if there's an issue, bring it in front of us on the board.
Okay.
I feel like,
Maybe we should put that in writing if it isn't.
I mean, you guys typically pick the books that go out on, like, that are also part of
Oh,
the
yeah.
display and stuff.
Yeah, I would,
And they're always in the adult section. So, you know, that we don't have the display space in the children's section to allow for that anyways.
my thoughts briefly are having policy before an issue becomes a matter of dispute is always a good idea, so it does seem like we maybe could use a policy here. I am a little concerned, though, that I wouldn't wanna. I think we need to be careful when we're thinking about like regulating the content of what goes up in there, because that could stride into First Amendment issues, but I think we could make a rule where maybe government agencies are okay, non-for-profit organizations are okay, but not for-profit commercial stuff. That being said, like, I don't know if we, yeah. Yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm leaning right now, but I'm just now looking about
Yeah.
it, so.
I'll see what we've got. I'll see what the other libraries in the system have. Yeah.
Anybody else? If not, we'll move on to the circulation report.
Okay. Maybe look good. We follow IFLIS pretty much. We very much follow IFLIS. And Park Falls little bump, they got back down to normal range this month as well. So not worried about it. I mean, we've held steady now this is since 2023. So I think we just keep doing what we're doing. I still feel like we're busier than we were. But again, getting people to check out versus, yeah. I mean, we're happy they hang out here, but we need a couple really big homeschool families with little kids again. Seriously, because we sit and we wonder what the deal is.
That aren't from the city of Phillips.
Right, that aren't living in the city of Phillips.
Living in.
Right, so I mean, it's, yeah. But I am not worried. I am happy. It all looks fine.
Any questions?
One, this is probably the right space for it, but have we thought about like documenting, like having like maybe a door swing counter or something like that, just to document how many people? Because like I feel like we might be having more patrons who come here to like use the facilities, print something out, copy something. And like that is a service that we're contributing to our community that we should track and like say like, hey, this is another reason to fund us besides just the book circulation stuff. I know it would like obviously it's not in the statute, but it might be something that we could like present in the future. And I don't know if there's a great way to do that.
IFLIS automatically counts the number of logins on our public computers. So we do have access very easily to that number. We have in the past just done like mini surveys, like, do we really need to be open on Friday nights? And so then for like 2 months, I just make the front desk do a tally of every time somebody logs in on a Friday night. Which we could do. We could do a couple weeks and then just extrapolate from there. I could see how much a door counter is. If it's under $100, I don't see any harm in grabbing one. I have no idea.
It'd be good to know if we're getting people in the door, like from a business,
Right.
seeing them in the door, but they're not buying the product, they're not
Right.
checking it out.
Right.
How can we get them to commit?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I think Kalen's right. I think it's a very worthwhile statistic or worthwhile point to make. Because any number of people that, well, library, what do you need libraries for? You got a computer, you got a phone, come on, you don't need to use this. And the simple fact is, yes, but there's all sorts of resources at a library besides just checking out a book. And we'd at least touch on that if we had some kind of a door count. I mean, I think it's at least worth looking into and again, in trying to sell, whether it's to the county or the city or whoever, that, hey, this is one more way in which this is one of the most used resources in the county. Because it is. I mean, we know certainly for the city of Phillips, this is one of the most used resources here. I don't know if I can say that absolutely for the county, but it's gotta be in the top few. And other than people driving on the city and county streets.
Would it be worth putting up a sign saying, help us make money? And you gotta paraphrase this differently, of course, but help us make money, check out books, we get credit for checkouts. I mean,
Well,
I know it sounds bad.
I used to do the Spice of the Month Club and
Yeah.
people would sneak in, even Linda, before she was hired here, she goes, I used to be one of those, I would just sneak, because I didn't ever see her in the library. And she's like, oh, I've been here, I used to pick up your Spice of the Month and sneak out. And so now I have a sign hanging out by the tea of the month that says, hey, we're circulation is, funding is dependent on circulation, so please try to check out. And I've noticed that when people take their tea kits, they don't leave the library without checking.
That's nice.
Good.
Yeah, and I know I've talked with other users who they're like, oh, I just checked out 2 books because I didn't want to check out too many because I was gonna be taking them from somebody else.
Ooh,
And I'm like, oh, no.
no.
I'm like, check out as many as you want.
Yeah.
And the gal stopped by my office the other day, she has a stack, she's like, I took your advice. I would sell. Yeah. Yeah, it's like some placebo checkouts. But I think that's where some people are just hesitant, we want to be conservative, I don't want to take from other people.
Sure.
And no, go ahead, we want you to feast on this. Or maybe that for Thanksgiving, there you go.
Yeah.
Feast yourself on books.
Think this about a like funny promotional campaign you could do is like different ways that you can use books that you check out for the library. You got a course now? Are you doing a Zoom interview and want to seem like a really well-read person? Just
But yeah, but again, seeing how many people are coming in versus what they're checking out,
Right.
it can be valuable information.
Right. I'll see how much one of those little doohickeys is.
Then you get the kids running in and out 5 times.
Yeah. Well, that's what it is. Yeah. That's what the door counter says.
All right, thank you for that circulation report. We have a report from the Library Friends Group.
So they're working on helping us get volunteers for the book sale, and then we're going to do another fundraiser of some sort. We haven't decided what kind between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So either another basket raffle or somebody said stockings instead of baskets. Because we bought the raffle licenses, so we're gonna use the raffle.
Yeah. I wonder,
But
but you
yeah.
would like on your sign board thing, like stop in for a raffle or something like that, just. I didn't try to see.
You want me to try to get a
Facebook.
sponsor for the raffle tickets?
Let me find out what exactly they want to do. And then, yes, if we're going to do tickets, I will have you try to find a sponsor for the raffle tickets. Yeah. Because Krista wasn't there this last month, so I ran the meeting, and they just all wanted to do another fundraiser, but we have not pinned it down yet. So I'm not exactly sure what they want to do.
And if anyone wants to volunteer to work the book sale, who should they contact?
You should contact me, but you should wait until tomorrow morning when I have access to the shared document that says when we have people here, because on my phone, it's just too small for me to even look at. So yeah.
And the book sale is in October, and that's when the Harvest Festival is going on. would you maybe have something, a display or something out trying to sell books? Cause all the activity is gonna be right here, correct? Or is part of it?
So we have those rolling signs and we usually put a big sign down there that says book sale with a
By
big
Prevail?
arrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, the start of the book sale is that Saturday. So when we open at 9 o'clock, it'll be 9 o'clock. And I think it's on the flyers from the chamber and stuff, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, so we're listed as a Harvest Fest event,
Could
whatever.
have the
Yeah.
vice president of the board of directors dress up like as a book or something.
Spin the sandwich.
Or something like that.
Yeah. Gone that day.
Pick it up.
Oh, that's fine.
Just anybody, or
Yeah.
just maybe to try to draw people here to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's worth a
I
shot.
wonder if one of Linda's teen advisory council kids would wanna.
There would be
sit.
something outside they visually could see.
Yeah, we usually put a sign.
I know the sign,
by
but-
her, and then we put it on the corner by Prevail.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Well, I just think it's a good time for the visibility, because
Books
so many
outside.
people are gonna be around. So, well, I didn't know there was a library here. I don't know how many times you heard something like that. Or, you know, we had a concrete park. I've lived here all my life.
Trail of pumpkins with.
Yeah, we could take a couple carts of books outside.
The weather.
Granted, it's not raining.
Yeah, right. Assuming
Yeah.
weather is good, that's not a bad idea.
Just set them out there.
More for sale inside.
Right.
Yeah.
You could put the cart down, Avon, right? Isn't that where they're?
Yeah.
So you could sell books right from the cart.
All right, let me see how many volunteers we have
See what
that
you-
are willing to cover. Because that weekend, that Saturday, Linda and I are actually in the park too for the library. So we don't have a ton of extra staff running around that Saturday morning. Yeah, we're all gonna be at the park. So you guys should stop here and shop for books, and then it's the Olympics.
The Children's Olympics.
Yeah,
Oh.
so we're doing that, and then book bingo, of course, because we always do book bingo with the Moose. So
Mhm.
I don't know what time yet, because Andy hasn't told me what time, but some point Saturday morning,
So where's the
Book
book bingo
bingo.
gonna be if you have the sale here?
Presbyterian Church.
Okay,
So,
bring some books there.
well, we bring free books there for the
Oh,
kids
okay.
as it is, so, yeah. But yeah, we'll send people here afterward.
After the event, see the ones that don't sell.
Oh, yeah. Right.
All right.
Any updates from the Teen Advisory Council?
So they elected officers and they have decided that they want to run it according to Robert's rules. So I am going to help the Teen Advisory Council. And any questions I have, I know who I can contact. But after 17 years, I know the basics. I can at least get them started on Robert's rules. But yeah, so they're really excited. And I'm really excited about that because I think, we're gonna do bylaws and they're gonna do their own bylaws for it. And I think the more we have, the more likely it is that it'll exist from now until into the future. So yeah, so we have a really good group of kids. She had 7 or 8 at the last meeting. So
Excuse me.
yeah. Yeah, so they're doing
Fantastic.
Are they having like spirited discussions about plans and things?
well, they were the ones that wanted us to get the new table and the new chairs. Yeah, so they're supposed to tell us whenever they think of anything else. So, yeah, I think we're good.
Moving on then, library renovation project update.
So I was finally told by the local electricians that they don't want to do the door, or I should say, at this point in time, they're not able to do the door, which is fine. So the guy from Electricity X or Static X up in Park Falls is actually coming tomorrow morning.
Okay.
And he's gonna look, and as long as he'll do it, he's gonna give me a quote. And the actual door quote from the guy is enough under 10,000 that I think whatever the electrician quotes me, I should be able to cover under the grant money. If I can't, I'll let you guys know, but definitely if I can, I'm just gonna have him do it because I'd still like to try to get the door guys here before the snow flies because I only have until March and I'd rather try to do it at this end than the other end. So I guess as long as I don't have to ask the board for more than like $500, I'm just gonna tell him to do it. And if it's more than that, I'll let you guys know, but I don't think it will.
And our courier delivery guy will be
Yes.
ecstatic because he tells me all the time that we are the only library that does not.
It's hard, though, they're not at the door. Oh. We'll find them, we're gonna fix that. Yeah,
Okay.
all right.
Thank you. Old business, we had none, so we can move on to the new business. And the first thing on that is the August 2025 bills.
Wasn't anything bizarre to the bills. No monstrous amounts. But the total that we're looking for, that listed here.
Yeah, where is it?
That's the number?
Bottom of page
What?
17. 4909.
3909.
390921.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we are. Just popped in a different place.
Right. Although, did you guys notice that I put the thing across the page?
That was very
Yes.
Yes,
Really
which
appreciate.
makes me keep thinking that I photocopied the first page 3 times, so that's. Good.
And we are also asking for $184.23 authorized from the board.
Did you manually put those headers on there?
What?
Did you manually put the headers on each page?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely teachers.
They look fine, Jeff. They're fine.
Well, until next time when you have more lines, you gotta redo it.
I mean, it took me 3 seconds to redo it. I just figured I'd just redo it. I actually didn't want to format a header, I guess, was my thought when I was doing it.
Well,
Oh,
you
it's
got
not.
the header on there, you just select those as
Okay,
in the print preview
all right.
instead of.
Well, okay, I'll try next time, maybe. No promises. Here, sorry.
If it makes it feel any better, the lazy way that I use page breaks when I do the minutes means that sometimes I add one line and end up with a whole blank page. I'm like, ah, I gotta. Must be an easier way. I'll figure out the easier way next month than I never do.
You know that, yeah.
Well, sometimes with Word, that's just.
Any questions or discussion about the, excuse me, about the bills? If they meet with approval, I would look for a motion in a second.
I'm just, all of a sudden here, I'm the one that's gonna ask the question. Looking at the number that we've got on page 17, 390921. What is the operating number just above that? 380121. What creates the difference between the two?
Yeah, they shouldn't be different.
Exciting.
Yeah,
mystery.
And which one is right?
yeah, all right, let me figure out which one is right, actually. Stay
Contract services,
a second.
$108.
Where's contract service? Oh,
First 15.
yeah, is that what I'm missing?
Yeah, there you go.
That makes sense. So then, yeah, so then the total bills, because that isn't the operating line. When I give this to Shelby. So utilities and contract services aren't in the operating total. So Mark's right. So the total bills are 3909.
390921,
Right.
which includes the operating plus the contract services.
And the utilities, yeah. Although we
And
don't have.
utilities, which we don't have any listed for this month.
Yep.
Okay, all right, then that makes sense.
Thank you.
So then we're at 390921.
Okay.
Is what we're requesting for the general bill to authorize for the city to pay, and we're requesting 184.23 from board designated funds to cover the Moose Bingo. Yep. Not gift, but the Moose Bingo reward.
We'll make a motion to approve those amounts.
Becky made the first and the second was Galen. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Look, right here.
Easy. Great. Number 2, discussion or action on the future open library seats. I'll let Bruce finish what he's doing. I think he would be the one to initiate that conversation.
No, that's just fine. Okay. Yeah, I'm the one that had asked to put that on it had. Okay, first, two pieces to this, and that's where there's one of those chains of the emails, I think, that everybody has seen. I basically laid out the information in the first note that I had sent to Jenny to ask this to be on the agenda. I was concerned about two aspects. One, that we all understand that we have no say in this. Okay, technically, the county board chairperson and the mayor, and to the extent of Mark Peterson, the school superintendent, could tell us to blow it off. They're not gonna listen to anything we have to say.
Right.
So that's kind of like the first point I wanted to put out there. Second point was, I was concerned on, just by happenstance, found, mayor is already gonna appoint somebody at the common council meeting this past month. And we had only, whatever it was, the 28th of August, for those of us that didn't know who had resigned and what had happened, didn't know anything about it, and so it felt like we ought to be looking for a little extra time if there's anybody else interested besides the one person that you were aware of.
Sure.
And that you had communicated to Chuck, the mayor. And I think it, maybe the way I wrote it or something, maybe it read a little bit like I was accusing you of doing something inappropriate. I obviously know that different people are gonna have different views on, well, gee, I hope this person gets appointed or doesn't get appointed or something. That I'm not gonna be naive and say that doesn't come into play. But I was more concerned that it just seemed like it was a very compressed time, and maybe we should be asking county board chair, mayor, when there's an opening that isn't just at the end of a term, that we as a board possibly ask, hey, can you possibly use this kind of a general procedure? Can you let the seat open for a month? And so in any event, what I had done was to contact the mayor and ask, hey, could you not appoint this person? And this was Annie Ferencrug, Annie Knutson Ferencrug. Can you not appoint her tomorrow night? And so with that in mind, apparently, and I just asked Becky yesterday, the newspaper said she got appointed. I asked Becky yesterday, I thought he didn't appoint, but whatever. He didn't make any commitment to me whether he was or wasn't going to give an extension of time for people to submit. But I understand that he did do that and he didn't appoint. So that was my reason for bringing it up. And I don't know, I don't think we have any past policy. We have had very haphazard past procedure or practice until fairly recently. It was always a matter of, oh God, how are we going to find somebody to do this?
Right.
It's only been in the last 5 years or so that it's like, there are multiple people that would be willing to do this. And I just thought, well, maybe we should talk about it, or and see if this is anything that we should be saying. Well, what would we as a board like the two appointing authorities to do? And again, Brian as county board chair and Chuck Peterson as city mayor aren't required to do anything that we would ask them to do in this regard. But my general impression through the time has been they probably wouldn't mind a little assistance if there are, people that would be interested in doing this stuff. And so I don't know, Brian, you can talk to this. I'm assuming if we were to just make a suggestion of, well, gosh, here's kind of a general questionnaire for stuff for library board appointments, and we'd like to ask if you get an opening on one of your appointments, could you wait a month and make sure there's a chance for multiple people to apply?
We could put something in writing or as a guideline.
Right.
I would see the problem with that. The way I do it is I need to contact the library director, ask for suggestions, see what kind of feedback I get. I don't just pick somebody or, let somebody come to me. I try to get a little bit of feel of what's going on and who's interested.
So did she submit her resignation several weeks or a few weeks before our meeting?
So Jenny had told everyone that she was going to email those 3 people who maybe weren't coming. And so Meredith emailed Jenny back. Yeah, and I was on leave. So Yeah, so she quit sometime in the beginning of August.
Okay, so from our perspective, where we just found out and a week later he's appointing somebody,
Right.
is the fact that he was made aware of that a
Sooner.
couple weeks before the board was,
Yeah, so Chuck knew about it,
okay.
yeah, before the board did. I'm fine waiting a month. I think that it's general practice that we put together a list because again, I don't know where else you guys would start. I did, yeah, right.
Well, I remember you had asked, when I applied,
Right,
you had a questionnaire that you asked
Right.
people to fill out and submitted that, and, so you just, in general, it seems to me always a good idea to have some sort of process where gives everyone a chance to be considered, and hopefully you get a better candidate than if you just haphazardly just grab the first person. Which could work out,
This
but
board officially doesn't have any influence, or
Right.
they, still. Or if if there's an opening before the appointment is listed on the agenda, so.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Right.
um,
Well, not so much before it's listed on our agenda. I mean, just to let us know, that was
Right.
fine. I wasn't griping about the fact
I was.
to the city appointment. Right. Yeah, it makes sense. And I think it makes sense. It seems to me to make sense to go through the director. I don't have any issue with it going through the director. If any of us are aware of people and that, I'm just looking for the idea that there be time.
Sure.
And the fact that I might recommend somebody else or pass a name along that would be different from who Becky might pass along. Or Mark Peterson might pass along, or Christie, or whatever. I mean, that's not my point here. My point isn't the tilt of who we're talking about. It's just the idea.
It's just the procedure.
Yeah, leave some time and have kind of a general procedure for it. And whether it's a county or a city, I wouldn't think it ought to make a whole lot of difference. I mean,
Is everybody appointed, right? Everybody here is appointed by either county, city, or school, correct?
right.
yes.
Well, Mark is not technically appointed. Mark is the designee of the school superintendent. So the school superintendent could decide, nope, he's out, and we're putting in somebody else next to
So
him.
it's all basically just
Yeah.
recommending.
Right.
As a board, you'd be maybe recommending.
Right.
That's
But-
really all.
But the rest of us are appointed for a term, though. I mean, like when
Right.
Brian has appointed, or anybody before him has appointed the county ones, it's for a 3-year term. Same thing for the mayor with the city ones.
I didn't appoint myself, by the way.
Right.
You are a member by virtue of.
Yeah. Right.
You know you like us.
So I did speak to the mayor. And according to the mayor, in a perfect world, we would come to a consensus. And I said, I do not know that we are going to come to a
A
consensus
consensus,
as to who we want him to appoint.
the board would come to
The
a
board
consensus.
The board has never actually voted on the candidate, right? And I don't think that's what we're talking about, is we
Right.
want to say on even who are the options are, right? I mean, it's been, you get names, you submit them to the correct.
Right, but
That's
okay,
right.
I'm not quite, but okay, but according to the mayor, if this board cannot come up with a consensus, then he wants to know who I would like him to appoint. Because that is how it works with the other departments in the city.
And that's
So
just his own.
that is what,
policy.
that is the word that I got from Mr. Peterson.
And that's fine, if that's the way you want
So-
to do it.
Yeah, I guess whoever he wants to get opinions from and.
And I don't think we're discussing the politics of who's appointed, we're
Right.
looking for a procedure, so we're all aware of what's going on.
Just make sure you give enough time between resignation and appointment to
Sure.
pick, to get.
So,
everyone
so
chance
then
to-
I guess my question is, has there been enough time? I'd be more than willing to listen to anybody's concerns about Annie, but she is still the person who, I mean, I've wanted her to serve on this board for years, and the only reason she hasn't sat on it before is because she had little kids and she didn't have time to do it. And I think that she will take it incredibly seriously. I think that she is a very thoughtful person. I think that we can count on her to be prepared for every meeting and to come to every meeting. So, I had a list of people that I had given to the mayor. She's still at the top of my list. He said that he didn't get any suggestions from anybody else. So
There's
if
been some people.
that's
Well, you
not,
got
That's
suggestions,
suggestion.
you got suggestions from Jenny, I think.
Jenny gave him some, I did. Well,
Okay.
I take that back. I told my people to reach out to him directly.
Okay.
So I did not make.
well, he did not share that with me for whatever reason.
Okay.
So I have not seen
And I
that.
know when I was standing.
That was in the last-
other day, I know Shirley Smith had contacted him.
Yes,
I know that Jenny had tossed the names of Jamie Lund and
Gina Clark.
Gina Clark, which would be Jenna. She went full disclosure, she said that that's her sister who's moving back into the area, but has been a big library user, whatever.
Well, I think this is meaningful discussion, but I think it's not really why it's on the agenda.
Right.
sure.
It's the procedure is what we're concerned with.
Procedure guideline, we're not gonna tell the mayor how he makes his decision or county board chair.
So then,
We're just, if there's a vacancy, here's the process of filling. it.
so then I think that it should be announced, just from what I'm hearing, we announce it at one meeting, right? Then there's a month. Send all of the names to me. I will compile a list and I guess I need emails if you want them to fill out that sheet that we have. Was that useful to you? The mayor just wanted names and phone numbers. So, I mean, we can have everybody fill out that sheet. It's an extra step. I guess if you really want to be on my board, that's great. You're serious enough to fill out this form.
So if you,
But if we compile them all and then make sure at the meeting after that I have everybody's names. So if for some reason you notice that one of your candidates is not there, we can reach out to them and then I will pass that list along to either whoever the county chairperson is or the mayor at the time. Does
That would
seem
be,
better?
that would sound like an appropriate process to me.
Yeah.
But that's not the process you're in right now.
Right,
The process you're in right now is mayor is asking you, okay, well, tell me who I should appoint.
right.
And I mean, because we don't have this set that we can vote on something tonight for anyways, it's a discussion item. We're not gonna
actually
vote
says
on
action, but we
Well, yeah,
can't, we
but
can't
a
appoint anybody.
Future appointee,
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, we're really talking about, well, what happens the next time around? It's really what we're doing here.
Well, and I think it's a good discussion. We can come up with like a recommended way of doing it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like if one of us, say extraordinary situation, one of us decides to resign, the first thing we do is we call him and we tell Chuck Peterson that, and he says, great, I'm just gonna fill your seat right away because I can. He can do that. And
Oh,
we
right.
can't stop him.
Right.
So it's a little academic.
But if the mayor and the county chair, board chair, if they want the names from the library or from the library director, then we have some control over that, where we say the procedure is the way Becky laid it out is we announce it at the meeting. We ask ask for applications, whatever that is, if it's just name or whatever information, and then at a set amount of time to get people to apply, and then once we've got that list, we send that to the mayor. And then what he does, and the chair, and what they do with that, how they decide to pick from that list is
Right.
outside our.
That would be helpful.
Yeah.
So we just need to set a time frame for getting this together.
We could just lay that out, maybe we could direct Becky to come up with a tentative outline of what you just said.
Yeah.
And we can tweak it. at the
Yeah.
next meeting maybe, and just, I don't know if it'd be a policy, but just a
Just a procedure.
recommendation.
Yeah.
Well, it can be what we choose to do, whether the
Right.
county board chair and the mayor follows it is up to them.
Right.
Right.
And whoever that may be at that given moment. But at least then we've got something, and this is what we expect our director to do.
Right.
Okay, and so, I mean, I would think one little blurb in there would be if if either or both of the two appointing authorities say, well, we want you to do something totally different,
Right,
well, then
Then
at
we-
least you have to notify us.
right.
You know, tell us what it is you're being told to do.
Sure.
Apart from that, yeah,
Mhm.
I think that makes sense.
And I like that month time frame. We don't want the seat to sit vacant too long.
No, that's correct.
That doesn't do us any good, but it gives time. I know some people are talking with like, oh, well, not this time, but keep me in mind for next time.
Mhm.
You know, when, similar to Annie, if when life slows down or if, you know, my kids get older, things like that. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I guess I might just suggest one further amendment to this proposed process, would be like to keep us more out of it. I'd say have like announce a board meeting for sure, so it's generally public information, everybody can put their hat in. But then I say we tell candidates contact the mayor directly and just like send the list, like let him make the list of names. Because the less we're involved, I worry that it's very easy to like bring, if we're really involved in the selection of the next board member, that board member is going to come in being like, well, I'm like part of this faction, I owe my seat to this person. And like, it just seems like an opportunity to create that kind of factionalism that will probably happen regardless, but the more that we can keep us out of it, like just so we can focus on the actual stuff on our agenda, not who's deciding it, and let the mayor do this, we can recommend that process of like, leave it open for a month, take that long to make your decision, and get names from everybody and maybe like reach out and ask opinions of people if you want to. But yeah, I would say like, my preferred way of finding out who the new board member is going to be is when they show up at the next meeting and then I can go, oh, cool, nice to meet you.
So I think I somewhat agree. I also think that, like Bruce said, I mean, there was sometimes begging and groveling, oh, please be on our board. And certainly, I think Becky's done a really good job of looking at who is engaging with the library, who is speaking positively about it in the community, who is the person that is participating in multiple programs or that I actually see the face of, who knows what's going on. And I think those are typically, that's the pool of people that she draws from to submit the names. I think that if everything goes directly to, you know, mayor or county board chair, they don't have that piece of information. And while people don't have to be in the library all the time to be on the board, it is, I would think, very important that they understand what is going on and what they are being a board for, before they show up for the first meeting.
I really like the idea of that application. I know when, similar to Jeff, when I was presented the option to be on the board, I had to fill out a 2-page, and what's your experience, how much do you use, you know. I found that helpful, you know, and I would think maybe if we did collect those, like Becky was saying, it would show the mayor, show the chair that these are people who are users of our facility, or they have this background that could be valuable.
Right.
The one nice thing I'm thinking what the mayor may prefer, and Brian, you can speak on behalf of the county, would be the names and information get collected here and handed to them, I'm gonna say on a silver platter of, here's your choices, instead of the mayor or chair getting 10 different phone calls from 10 different people. Where they can initiate the calls at their designated time.
I would agree with that, that's.
We do the collation,
Cause
or Becky does, the collation.
Yeah, and I mean.
Well, that's it.
start,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I would assume that Chuck would prefer, the mayor would prefer that rather than having to keep an eye on his own inbox and
Oh,
that sort of
Yeah.
thing. So yeah, so if we put together the list of names.
And then that way too, if at the board meeting, like, yep, everyone anyone knows anybody else? If not, here's the list that's going.
Right.
We aren't saying yes or no to any personal candidate, but if, for example, like, my best friend was gonna do it, I'm like, I know her name's on there. You know, it's just that one chance opportunity of, oh, somebody fell through the cracks.
Well, does that list even need to be presented to this board? I mean, we said we want, you know, the announcement of the resignation. But I know, who the board should be on, who's
I don't
being
think the
submitted?
board this board should say yay or nay to a name that's on a list. If
Sure.
Just be aware of the list, that's it.
Mhm.
Right, and I guess I'm saying is that in that month we were talking about, that the list, at the next monthly meeting, the list doesn't necessarily need to be presented to the board. The director's report could just say, I submitted a list to the correct organization.
I think it would be nice to know the names that were submitted. And my reason for that isn't so much for my view of this versus someone else's view. It is more a matter of, well, who's interested?
Right.
And because there are other things that come along during the course of the year, whether it's friends, whether it has to do with a special project, whether it has to do with fundraising for things for the library. It would be nice to know, well, which 3 people, 5 people, 10 people were interested enough to put their name in, fill out the little questionnaire. And yeah, I agree with you, Brian, that I don't think we have to comment on them at all. I think it can be just the idea that, so who's expressed an interest? I don't think there's, I mean, it's not like it's confidential or something. I mean, it's,
And it would be under the director, could be under the director's report, so it's not an action item, so
Yeah.
it's just, here's the report, move
For
on.
information.
yeah.
We wouldn't necessarily only have like, people's names might end up on that list because they hear, oh, there's an open library board, and like they approach us and they go, I'm very interested in serving on a library board, that's my degree my whole life. Or they don't end up on the list because one of us approaches them and it's like, I think you'd be a great library board member, and they go, oh gosh, I don't know if I have free time, but maybe, okay, I guess you talked me into it. And so like, it does show an interest, being willing to respond to that kind of ask, but I don't know if that's necessarily a great proxy for like who's a really engaged library booster. And I do like, yeah, I also worry that like it just, yeah, the more that we know about, like if we know all the different names on the list, well, I guess we could know who's on the list and we don't know who put that name on the list. Maybe that's okay. I'm worried about walking into a situation where, just to like take myself as an example, like I see that like so-and-so's name is on the list and they were nominated by a different board member that I don't get along with, and I'm like, oh, I can't believe they nominated this person, and now I'm like,
But,
that's.
I mean, that information is.
Yeah, the submission, I just like, you're right, so.
Well,
this
and
is-
even if it was, it doesn't matter, because that list, we're not gonna be modifying the list, so.
You don't have anything to say.
So maybe if they get appointed, then you might have problem with another person on the board, but that's a whole separate issue. Well, yeah, I mean, I think we're a little hopeful.
Well, I don't know.
I like the idea of having a kind of a time frame where we would request that it be held open for people to express interest. And then again, Mayor Pearson, it was probably months, probably since he found out to when he was going to do the appointment. So it was a designated time frame. It just wasn't public for people to be thinking about, oh, I should be thinking about. You know.
Yeah, and that I definitely, to the extent that we're able to impose it, like, yeah, making this more public, above board and open to everybody seems good, right?
Now, going back to, Jenny waited to tell, she knew earlier, but she waited to tell all of us while we were all together, and I still think that was appropriate procedure. But I'm just thinking out loud, you know, is there any reason that announcement should have been made sooner to the board?
I would suppose when the director knows that problem, and we can put that in policy, when the director knows that a board member is resigning, or a resignation's been received, maybe that's the way you put it. When there's been a resignation received.
Signing to though, like, okay, so because Jenny handled this last one, then would it have been Jenny's responsibility to
Yeah.
tell us all at once? Are we leaving
I
this
think,
as?
I think we leave it to whoever receives the resignation to tell the
Okay.
director. And the director passes the word out to everybody, just like, oh,
Okay.
so-and-so's resigned.
All right.
Yeah.
And again, for the whole idea of trying, you want, regardless of what anybody's bent is on the only controversial thing we've got around here, which is the collection development stuff. Apart from that, we all care that you get somebody who's interested in the library, who's going to be involved, who's going to read the materials, who's going to be at the meetings. that we want them on the board so they put their input in, not just on this one controversial corner. And while I may have my preference on who I want for that controversial point, I'm more interested in just making sure that we get the word out that, hey, we've got an opening and I disagree with this person, but they're gonna be very involved. I agree with this person completely for collection development stuff, but they're never gonna show up except for that one meeting every 2 years where we're voting on a book. I want the first person, not the second person, even though I would like that second person's view. I want someone who's gonna be here and somebody who's gonna participate and want and care about more than just what book is on the shelf and why is this one, why did you choose this one or he choose this one?
Right.
I want something more than that, because there's much more to the library than just that. But anyways, why don't
The
the
bottom line is you could lobby the mayor or the chair, but as far as this group goes,
yeah,
we got nothing to say about it.
yeah, I agree.
I think I did hear one thing kind of, or well, I had one idea that came up in passing through this conversation, that maybe we should do something about is, do we have an official procedure for how you are supposed to resign from this board? Maybe like if somebody resigns before their normal term is up, we could just like add a quick bylaw saying they have to email the board president and the library director and like let them both know, and then the library director and board president both have to let the rest of the library board know.
I just scanned through the bylaws. I didn't see anything
I'm sure there's not.
written there.
Yes, yeah.
Technically, though, if they're appointed by the mayor or the chair,
They should be.
they should be re-notifying them.
But as a practical matter, I don't expect anybody will, yeah.
But right, but realistically, it's the chair and the director, maybe that's what, it should
Yeah.
be suggested. Is that, hey, please, notify these, the chair, the director and the.
And you're appointing.
Your appointing authority, yeah.
Yeah, I think that might be like if you resign before the end of your term, just to like make sure that everybody gets notified right away.
Sure.
And that would be a small amendment we can do.
Oh, and I guess back to the point of waiting till the meeting to announce to us, it's like, well, we know in a small town that information doesn't stay. So in this case, I hadn't come across that, but it was like, it would be kind of awkward that if I was out in public and somebody's, oh, I hear so-and-so has resigned from the library board. Not that I get a lot of context.
Right.
Context, but I would like to know before Joe Blow out public would potentially get to know. So that would be my only point of not waiting until the meeting.
And that also makes it seem that much more even-handed when it comes to the controversial items. It seems more even-handed. The more time there is, the more widespread. Everybody knew, everybody had an opportunity to pass the word around to different people and let those people decide if they were really interested. Is this really something they'd like to do, et cetera. So I mean, I think that's a plus. I don't think that hurts either side, any side of anything.
I think it makes it more transparent. Transparency is good.
Yeah, I agree. Becky, could you try to rough a little something out on that for the next month or two? I mean, presuming that we aren't about to have a crush of resignations in the next 2 weeks, I mean, this really isn't gonna have any bearing whatsoever on what's going on with the current one. And if Chuck wants to deal with it with you making a recommendation, then you're gonna make a recommendation. And that is what it is.
All right, so that'll be on a future agenda then item.
Yeah, as you get a
Yeah.
chance to put something together.
I mean,
You have it here for
I'm
us?
sure it'll be in November unless I get sick.
Okay. November, or you said?
Oh, October is the next month. October, it'll be.
I just wanted to set your expectations. All right.
Please excuse my month.
Moving on then, the next item, is a draft presentation of the 2026 budget.
Okay, so I was talking to Jenny and I was like, I'm not gonna put the budget on the agenda because I don't have any of the numbers. And she goes, throw a draft together. So this is quite literally not based on anything. According to, yeah. Although the estimated numbers are right, like I did go through the monthly bills, so your 2025 estimates for this year are right, so that's useful to have, I always like that.
Uh-huh.
I did talk to Nick Trimner, as of right now, it looks like the county's gonna approve the libraries at what we billed for, which was 80%, which is what, unless you have some insider information.
Oh, that's the way the budget's.
Yeah.
Presented right now, and I don't think it's gonna change.
Yeah, so that is the county funding that is in there. I did also bill Ashland and Rusk for 2024 because we said that if the library uses over $100, we would bill them.
Mhm.
So those two numbers are new and this does look a little different. I tried to make it easier to read, so hopefully this looks a little bit better, kind of separated everything. So the county numbers are correct. But I don't have the health insurance numbers from the city yet. And that is the biggest thing. So I put in a 10% increase placeholder on that.
That's all.
I know. And right now the numbers that you're seeing is a 3% raise for all of the staff. My raise is at just under 2%. Because I realized that 3% of my number is larger than theirs. So I try to give them more. You guys know that about me. So that's fine. And of course, the front desk person is in there at 15 and whatever we hire for. It'll be a little less than what we were paying Vale. This is not balanced at all. Right now, we're $7,100 over what the city gave us last year. That's the last line, that 714,228. And I am sure that the city will ask for a 0% increase again. I can always go to them with a budget that is a tiny bit of an increase and say to Shelby, like, we do want to actually ask for an increase this year. They gave us a 3% increase last year. That is the first increase that we had gotten since I started working here. So, you know, if we hammer this out and we're short a couple $1,000s, I think that it's not out of the question to go to them and say, the county numbers should actually look a little bit better in 2027, just because of how that formula works. So we'll be working at 80% of 80 instead of 80% of 70. So I really just need us to get through 2026, to be honest. And so I think, you know, if we ask the city for a little bit more 1 year, they did let us use ARPA funds 1 year. I don't think they have any of that left at this point right now. The board can always pay a portion of something, like, again, if there's $3,000 that I really just can't finagle, I can say the board should spend $3,000 on our book budget and move it around. The city did take the update to the Civic Plus, so that number in here is correct. So it's gonna be $796 next year instead of this $1,500, so that's amazing.
What was that one?
That's the,
Oh, the Civic Plus, yes.
Plus. Yeah, so that's really great. The more number in there is correct. That won't change. So I don't know, guys, until I know that health insurance line, it really, and then of course, you know, retirements and social security change every time I change people's wages, so. That's the place that has the most wiggle room. I hate not giving, I think my staff deserves a raise. I mean, the cost of everything is increasing at an alarming rate. I don't think that anybody's, I mean, whatever of life. What am I trying to pick? The word. You know.
The cost of living.
Wait, well, but you know, like your standard of living should not go down. Whatever. Like, I don't want them to actually feel like they're making less than they made this year, which I know is hard. Whatever. But questions about this? Early gut reactions to this? I mean, again, it's not.
The city's only gone up 3% in 17 years.
Yes.
Holy cow. Huh. It just, like you said, cost of living is
Yeah.
astronomically different, and I just don't know how that, kudos to you for figuring out how to keep it running without more money.
And to be fair, there have been years where we've squeezed like $1,000 to $2,000 out of them, and Shelby just hasn't noticed that I asked for a little bit more because they record keeping just a little bit. So, but we haven't had an actual ask for increase, which along those lines, if we are going to continue putting money in a capital expense, we need to talk to them about holding that money for us, because again, the reason that I took that out of our budget in the first place was because it was just disappearing at the end of every year. I would like for us to make a bid that they keep like up to $4,000 that we're under in any given year, if they're willing to do that. You know what I mean? So it would be like the 2,000 that we already know is gonna be there from property insurance, but like if we have another $2,000 shortfall at the end of the year, it'd be great if they let us. According to statute, they are supposed to let us keep that money. We have never pushed, and I think maybe it's time to push. But I would very much like support in pushing, because I don't, if it came from somebody else that maybe used to be the city attorney. It might be accepted just a little, or maybe the ex-mayor. Maybe they would love to do that from someone that, but you know what, like, at the very least, I want one of you guys there with me when we decide to present this. And
We've said.
yes. But we should think about doing that
Yeah.
probably by their November meeting. So we should maybe try to talk about it in October, about how we want to present that to them.
Well, it might.
Are you saying you're gonna be under budget this year?
Well, I took 3 weeks of unpaid vacation. Or of unpaid leave. So depending on how much of that we eat up, even if everything else is on budget, plus we put this $2,000 in capital expense. At the very least, I want this $2,000 because we put it in our budget. So I definitely don't want to lose that. Yeah.
We need to present that, and we
Yeah.
need to set that. There's no reason not to be able to do that. The past discussions with the city had been that, well, they don't like, the auditors don't like that or something. The last time I talked to the auditor, there was absolutely no issue with that.
Right.
Doesn't the city do that by putting money into a separate
They do that all the time.
savings account?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've got.
They do that all the
squad,
time.
Fire and.
Yes,
all
all
the
the
other
other departments have it.
They have all these accounts for storing
Yes,
capital money, so
yes.
open another account for the library.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And also, like, I don't
Give
know,
it to us.
I'm not always the best at negotiations, but my first move would be like, well, it says under statute that you're supposed to do this, so stop breaking the law.
Right.
That's what, you bring that out after they say no.
Yeah, I'd like to not beat them over the head. I'd like for them to just decide that we do actually deserve this. Yeah, so,
Except not fast.
okay, so this will be on sorry. The health insurance meeting is supposed to be occurring sometime within the next 2 weeks. So this will be on the budget again for October. Should I put a separate agenda item about a separate thing for the city? Like asking the city for an account? Okay.
I
so
think we
we'll do
should,
that.
go ahead and we should do our homework as well. Get the stuff out there, have it as a part of our minutes. And then I think we do have a constituted finance committee.
Yeah, that would be.
And that would seem to be I think we had 4 suckers on, I think if I recall correctly, Jeff agreed, I agreed, Mark said he would help, and Brian said he would help.
Yeah.
And I think.
You might.
I think Mark was a pretty reluctant. I think he's like, it's limited, I think, right?
But what we can, I think what we probably should do before the next meeting here is we probably should have the finance guys just contact each other and kind of sort something out about what's the approach to take and legally and gather with you as well, so that
That would be good.
we get a handle on it before we just present it then at the October meeting.
Sounds
We can
good.
Get it through here and get it off to the city quickly.
All right.
Does that work?
That sounds perfect.
Okay.
All right, anybody, the really glaring concerns about this? Again, I know it's,
Opportunity for education.
Yeah.
So you guys were talking about the county funding, you mentioned Ashland and Ross. Where's that money coming from? Or why are we getting money from them?
No, we're billing them because of their patrons using our library.
Oh, okay.
So
Like.
that many Ashland County residents have used the library that we can bill.
Yeah.
We have our per circ amount.
Okay,
And so we've had that many checkouts from Ashland County and that many checkouts from,
through the Moore system type thing? Or like they physically came down?
They physically came down here. And it's only people from that county that don't already have a library, because if you already have a library, you're paying your library tax. So this in essence is me billing, yeah, it's their county people using our library.
Okay, so in Ashland County, there's not a library?
No, there is.
Their city, right?
So it's anybody outside the city of Ashland that comes
Okay.
down here and uses our library.
Okay,
Because you know how we distinguish between the city people and the county
Right.
people in price?
yeah,
That's the same thing here.
really?
So yes, so in essence, I am billing
It's not
these
just
two.
any Ashland County resident?
No, because if you're inside the city, you're already paying taxes on your library, and that's not based on CERC. So in essence, I am billing Ashland and Rusk the exact same way as I bill Price
okay.
for their usage of our library.
Okay, now,
Except they only pay me back at 70%, because no county within their right mind is going to pay an outside county more than what they have to based on. We don't either. And so I bill the county clerks. So the checks come from the county clerk.
Okay, so if someone lives, for example, Butternut, they come down, they have to physically come down here to our library.
Yes,
Physically check out.
Yep.
And then we bill Ashland County for them.
yes.
Oh.
Yes. And you'll see that Price County pays other counties too. So like if somebody goes down and uses, what's the one that's right out there by Ogama? The one, yes. So Rib Lake bills Price County for all the people here outside of the cities of Ogama and Prentice that go over and use
So when I
that.
went and checked out books from Rib Lake the other day,
Yeah.
Brian's gonna get my bill.
No,
Do you live in the city?
No,
oh, no, that's right. you-
Then yes.
Yeah.
okay.
So
Sorry,
we're
Brian.
paying for that.
Yeah,
Use this library. Come on, you don't live in the city. Use this. No.
You're not next to,
Red Lake isn't in our system.
Right.
Okay.
But the county still pays because she used a library out
Yeah,
of.
the Red Lake card?
no, that was my Moore card I used.
No, you must not have been at Red Lake.
No, there's no way.
No.
Were you at Ogama?
There must have been.
Rural.
Westboro's,
I was at Ogama too.
Westboro's not in our system.
Library.
Oh, yeah,
I am a library hopper. Been about,
yeah,
It does in the last few
VCAT
months.
card.
pardon?
You have 2 library cards?
Yeah, oh, that's what it is.
yeah,
You have a VCAT card?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
So yeah, every time you use a VCAT library, the county gets billed.
okay. But that doesn't come out of our budget. We don't have to count for that.
No, it comes out of,
No, Brian pays that person.
It just-
yeah.
Okay, okay. All right. Well, thank you. I did not understand that before. You'll probably have to refresh me again next year.
That's okay. I'm excited that we have that much though, because for
Yeah.
many, many years, the bills to those counties were under $100. And I finally just said, I'm not billing for $80.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And we said, okay. So this is exciting.
So if they order them through the Moore system, we don't get this money, but if they physically come in, we do. That's a
Yep.
big difference.
That's awesome. It is awesome. Although our county is doing the same thing, so it's not super awesome.
Yeah.
It helps us,
Yeah,
but it doesn't necessarily help.
okay. All
It
right.
just helps the city from not having to pay the full,
But you'd have to have a
Fee.
library card, right?
the full cost of the library.
Or-
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Now, Rice Lake's in the system, right?
yes.
Okay, since I checked out books there the other day. Okay.
Why are you doing this to me, Kristen? Heart is breaking. You don't live in the city.
Meet clients and appointments and you meet in public library rooms, you sometimes try to say, thanks for letting me use your library room.
Well, that's obviously why, I live in another county, but they come down here because
Yeah.
of DPW. So they're gonna use-
Yeah.
Her eyes.
Well,
Just tea
okay,
time
then
alone.
I am two-timing you guys a little bit. So, okay, fantastic.
Yep. Sorry, I have one more quick question that maybe is kind of silly. What if somebody from like a different state, like, I don't know, Cook County, Illinois, or Hennepin, in Minnesota comes here, gets a library card and checks a book out?
we can't do that. So
Can't
across
do
state
across
lines
state
doesn't,
lines.
but however, we are allowed to not give them a card. So we've never done that, but like if we decided that we didn't want to allow out-of-state visitors to use the library, we could do that. We've never done that, and our policy, it has always been more, we get their local address and we treat them as a county person, especially if they own their own cabin up here.
We have a
It's
lot
really
of,
bad.
we have a lot of seasonal.
Yeah.
You're up here all summer long.
Right, so we just
Very
put them in
utilized.
as Wisconsin residents.
Yeah. That's,
But yeah, you are allowed to say no to people outside the state.
okay.
Yeah, we're actually allowed to say no to people outside the system, so if you really want to. I don't know why you ever would.
I was gonna say, I appreciate not doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, because we like have a specific couple that they summer up here because they're from Georgia.
Yeah.
So they have Phillips library cards
Sure.
because they're in here every week.
I mean, I do kind of like, I would love to be able to send invoice to Collin County or whatever it is. But also like if we can't enforce that, then we can't enforce that.
Awesome. But we'll look forward to updated numbers next month. Unless there's any other question or discussion at this time. Okay, so then moving on, we will go to, I would ask for a motion to go into closed session.
It's 6:35.
6:35.
I will make a motion to go into closed session.
Becky made the initial motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jeff.
Okay, Linda, I'm gonna pause this and you do actually have to leave now. So are you close enough that